All right, it's the Spin and Backfist MMA show. It is Robbie Fox, Jack Mack, Big Ev, and we are here joined by Dakota Ditcheva. Right after a huge win at PFL Connecticut, Ev and I were actually in the building for it. We were sitting like right next to your family, so that was a cool experience getting to see them watch your fight. Of course, fired up and so into every punch, every move, and you came home with a huge win.
Yeah, I sure did. My family are there every time, so you'll see that always for sure.
Oh, so they were super fired up, especially your brother. Was your brother a fighter? Do your family you have a fighting background from your family?
Yeah, so my mum obviously used to be a fighter. My older brother, who does my corner, he used to fight, and then my younger brother, who was in the crowd with my mum and dad, he's trained. He's had a few like small little inter-club fights, but he's not. He's like the only one that's not really interested in it. He'll watch it and he likes to stay up to date with it, but he doesn't really. He doesn't want to fight or anything. He's not actually interested. So yeah.
How'd you like Connecticut? Was it a state that was on your bucket list to go in? I'm from Connecticut, so
Do you know what? It was actually where we stayed and we like drove through. It was actually beautiful. We were near some
yep.
water and the houses are like very spaced out, looked like very posh, we call it in the UK. So like my mum was like, I'd love to retire here. It's absolutely beautiful. But I think for my age, I think it's a little bit quiet. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no. I of course love it, but I cannot. What you just said is the perfect description for it. Maybe for retirement.
Yeah,
I saw in your vlog. In your vlog, you went right to New York City after the fight, right? Are you a big New York person?
No.
No, okay. I thought you were because I know you've gone there like in a few vlogs.
Yeah, so my mum's got a friend that lives there that she's known for years, like since she was fighting. So he's there, and whenever we go, we'll like catch up with him. But my little brother loves New York, but I'm not really like a city person. Like I love Connecticut because it's very quiet and very like green and stuff, but probably too quiet. So I'm like, if you think of Florida, it's like got the best of both worlds, the beach, but it's also quiet. So I'm kind of in the middle. New York for me is like too crazy. Vegas, don't like Vegas either. I'm not into like the wild scene. Yeah.
Have you felt recently any more pressure than you have in your fighting career, just based on, obviously, you're kind of exploding inside the PFL and becoming more and more of a superstar. They're putting more promotion into your fights and stuff. Do you feel that consciously, or is it just, the next fight for you?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel it for sure. I think that's just natural with the way that my career is going and the way that anyone's career would go, naturally it kind of gets a lot more. You're kind of on the undercard, then you hit the main card, then you co-main, then you main. I've been co-main for this is the second time now. So I'm obviously on ESPN. I want to make sure that I put on a good performance. My opponent's getting tougher and tougher. All the girls in the tournament talking about me. Like I could keep going. Like there's so many pressures. Plus my record. I never want to give up my O on my record. I'm not, for me, it's like winning all the time. But aside from all that, it's kind of like my main focus is just to concentrate on what's important, and that's training and then winning. That's it. So the media and the main event and co-main, that can all just, that just comes along with what I'm doing.
How important has it been for your just overall game being at American Top Team?
Crazy. Like the amount I've progressed being at American Top Team is like ridiculous. I was saying to somebody else, like the level of coaching that we've got there, the amount of girls I think as well. I don't just train with girls. I'm not saying that, you need girls to train with, but I spar the lads, but the bodies I roll with, the high level girls that I get to work with all the time, it's kind of like with the guys, sometimes you don't know like how strong they're actually going with you. You can't get that real like balance, whereas with the girls you can have a full on strength match and know where you're sitting, what level you're at. So I think I've progressed a lot that way as well, but also like the level of the gym and the fighters that come to the gym, we learn so much from each other. I was saying like the coaches teach you lots of things, but they also are open to like learn things off the fighters that are coming to the gym, and I think that's what makes us all progress so much all the time.
Who are some of your main like training and sparring partners there?
Yeah, so this camp I've been sparring one of the guys called Leo. I've been working with him a lot. Emily Martins have been, doing a little bit jiu-jitsu work with her. But like as for like on the mat, we all work together. So, we've got like Michelle who also fights for PFL. We've got Bia who's like the lady goat in jiu-jitsu. She's always on the mat training. There's just so many girls that we get to work with and roll with all the time. Asia, she's going to make her PFL debut. Like there's so many bodies there to work with that you just constantly getting like new feels all the time, and I think that's what every fighter needs, really.
And obviously, there's been so many superstars come up through American Top Team. Do you lean on them with the outside of the cage aspects of the game as well? The stuff we were talking about, like progressing through your career and be able to ask advice in that realm?
Yeah, definitely. I think with this PFL tournament as well, it was my first year doing this format. We've got so many fighters at the gym that have done it before. Coaches are kind of used to the way like the format goes. My coach, I've been lucky, that he's experienced with it because he knows when to push and when to pull back. Whereas me, like I would have been straight back to sparring after every fight, like just working, working and working. And sometimes you need that person to like pull you back and say, no, this is not where we're pushing hard. Like you need to rest here and then go again. And I feel like having that advice has kind of prolonged how well I've been doing in this tournament. It's like I'm dealing really well with like any little niggles, injuries that I get. Like I've been really good the whole tournament, touch wood. So I'm definitely feeling like with the right guidance at ATT that I'm on a great journey.
And obviously, last season you were in PFL Europe, and very similar format, but coming over to America obviously was always the goal, and then you can continue to fight internationally and whatnot. But has there been a massive difference you've felt between the PFL Europe season, which of course you won last year, and this season, which of course you are fighting in the semifinals coming up in 3 weeks?
2 weeks now, I think.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's gone so quick, honestly. I think mentally, it's just mentally has been like the thing that I've had to deal with the most. The training and stuff like that. I'm one of the fighters that's in the gym all year round. I don't like to like do an 8-week camp and then that's it. Like this sport is like it's like lifelong for me. So I want to be progressing all the time. I'm in the gym, but mentally, I think just not being able to switch off after you've had one fight. You constantly think about the next one straight away. There's no switch off at all. But funnily enough, like this is the first year that I haven't had any come down after a fight. So you'll hear a lot of fighters, they go into a little bit of a depression after, they've won a fight. Even if they've won, it doesn't matter. We kind of come on a low. We've built up for so long, all these emotions and everything, and then we come on like a little bit of a low. And I don't feel like I've had time to have that. This is the first year that I've been able to like keep my mood really high, get straight back in the gym, have another focus. So at the same time, it's been difficult, but also like I've been able to, keep my mind really strong and keep around in the gym and, keep the vibe really high.
Has there ever been any moments where the motivational factor's been tough? And I ask that based on where you've just been so dominant and so impressive. Is that ever like, I know you said obviously you're taking tougher fights. You're now in like fighting for potentially the championship soon. But is there ever moments of like being so dominant that it ever kind of like has gotten in the way at all, or even just like I guess there's the general thought process?
No, honestly, like I don't listen to any like outside media. I don't listen to anyone what anyone's writing. Like I take every fight super serious. Like doesn't matter whether it's for a world title or not. I treat every fight as a world title. So for me, it's like it doesn't matter who I'm facing. I don't underestimate anybody. I take everyone serious, and I think that might be why that I'm pulling off like such good performances, because I'm treating these fights important. I'm not like thinking, oh, this round's like a little bit easier than the last round. Like that's not the case for me. We fight different people all the time. Different styles fit each other. Someone might do well against one person and someone might not. So for me, like I don't leave that risk. I train just as hard for everybody, and I take everyone very serious. Yeah.
Do you ever look at the betting odds or no?
I don't really look. They're everywhere, so I do see them.
Yeah. So you'll see them. Yeah. I guess that's a better way to ask.
It's crazy. Like when I'm sure it's like minus 1,000 or something, or
I think a little bit more. You're like, and
to be honest,
do you? do you understand? Because obviously there's like American odds and there's British odds, and they all look a little
Yeah.
bit different. And we know personally, just as fans of the PFL yourself, and then just looking at the betting odds, like you are, I think against Chelsea, you're upwards of minus 2,000.
Yeah, when I think about it, it's stupid. It's so stupid. I actually feel like sorry for the other person because I feel like people don't respect like the opponent. I don't know whether it's because I'm performing good each fight or whether like they're not valuing the opponent that I'm going against. I'm not sure, but like I'm sure this time, right? My fight with Jenna, I'll have crazy odds again. But you put Talia and Jenna's odds together and they're normal. Like why? Like why isn't it no one getting the odds that? It's crazy, honestly.
We would
Yeah.
if you could somehow get your odds more like even. We would
Make it
personally
fair.
love that, but that's because we would like to be on be betting on you. But no,
Yeah.
the betting odds. There's so many reasons and whatnot. But I will say, there's not a lot of minus 2,000s out there, which goes to show your
No.
impressive skills. But I know some fighters don't like to look at that because it may mess up the mindset of like, oh, this is an easy fight, which you should never, as you said, find yourself thinking like that. Because when you think it's easy, then the overhand right comes and hits a little bit harder.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably because I don't actually understand betting that well.
That's good.
Yeah, so and then as well, like a bunch of numbers on a screen doesn't affect me. It's the same thing that I say this all the time about like people speaking really highly of me. I totally appreciate, and I'm always like, thank you so much. But I also don't soak that in either. Like I get my confidence from the way I'm performing in the gym and what my coaches think of my training, you know. So you know, if my odds are really high and everyone's saying she's the next superstar, she's gonna win, okay, that's fine, but that's your opinion. My focus and the way I think is down to the fact that I've been training hard and I'm ready, you know, and I feel ready in the gym.
You mentioned that. Go ahead, Ev.
I was going to say you're just fighting too good because even you said you're minus 2,000, but when you go knock her out in the first round, you're covering the price.
Yeah.
I was on your first round. I think I was high five one to your mom after.
That's funny. Honestly, like people, I think people like. I was walking through the Mohegan Sun and people were like, "Oh, I put you to win round two," and I was like, "Why did you do that? You was just wishful thinking for better odds, obviously."
Yeah.
Round two was probably a bit better than round one, and you wanted to win somebody. So it makes me laugh, honestly, because people obviously do look at the betting odds. So yeah.
How opponent focused does your training get? Like after that fight, do you immediately go start looking at Jenna's film and stuff like that? Or is it just how can I make myself the best fighter I can?
Definitely a bit of both. Like we have to have a game plan against, you know, the person that I'm up against. But I only think of that when I know I'm facing them. Like a lot of people have been asking me, you know, have you been like thinking about this person, you know, or when you're going to face her? And I'm like, not really. I'm aware of everybody that's in the tournament, but I'm also not fixated on any of them other than the person I'm fighting next, you know. And I think we definitely, as soon as we knew we were fighting Jenna, we watched a little bit on her. My coaches have obviously come up with a game plan and things like that. And at the same time, I'm going to focus on myself, like getting better. I think that's just what I need to do. And yeah, that's what I've been doing each camp. You know, still like staying in the gym, getting my mind strong, improving myself, but then putting in little tactics that are going to beat this next opponent.
From where you came into the PFL now, obviously, not just wins outside the cage, social media followers have gone up. Has there been anybody that's followed you or messaged you and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this person even knows I exist? Or do you not even look at that? You're just like, oh, I know that also
Yeah.
like any like English footballers or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I have obviously a really good relationship with Manchester City in the UK.
Yep.
And obviously like Doku, one of the players, always like comments whenever I do like a
Okay,
City
cool. Yeah.
celebration. I've had interactions like that. I don't look at it myself. That's a funny thing. Like I only notice when somebody tells me. So like my little brother, bless him, will look at stuff like that. He'll be like, Manchester City are following you. Doku just commented, and then somebody else told me after my last fight that Jake Paul tweeted me, but it was like, oh, it was Ariel that told me like 2 weeks later, and I was like, oh shit, I missed it.
So you don't look at it.
No. So
Do you not run your Instagram?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I just don't look at it. I don't.
Wow, that's probably really good.
Yeah, so like honestly, like bad comments and things like that, I tend to stay away from. But then the good
Yep.
as well. Like I don't enjoy social media. I think that's the main thing. Like I post and I'm active on it a lot just because I know the importance of it these days. But if I could take it away and it'd be taken away for everyone and it wasn't necessary, then I would love that. But yeah, Conor McGregor follows me on Twitter. Like I was told that as well the other day by my brother's friend. So, things like that are like massive. But there are also things that I don't soak in. Like they're not going to win me fights. I think that's my
Mm.
mentality. Like I focus on what's going to win me fights now. Like even when people say, "What are you going to do with this million?" Like I need to win a fight before that million comes. So let me focus on winning this fight, and then I'll decide what I want to do with the million afterwards.
Yeah.
That's just my mentality. But even my friends are like, "Are you not excited?" And I'm like, "No, just like let me chill. Like I'm focused on my fight, and like stop asking me what what I'm gonna do with like this money and all that stuff." Yeah, I'm quite chilled about stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate the time very much. Of course, fight coming up against Jenna Bishop. Everyone's going to be watching PFL 7. It is on August 2nd. Everyone check that out. And Dakota, thank you very much. Good luck in your next fight.
Thank you so much,
Good luck with
guys. Thank
training.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Excited.
you for
We'll
your
be there.
time.
Thank you. Yes.